going to. All right. Can you hear me?
I sure can.
And you can see me.
I sure can.
All right. Hey, so here we are again live on Facebook. Hi, Facebook world. So this is Dan Ward with DNZ Holdings, and it's a little real estate company. I'm also an agent licensed with Keller Williams, Advantage 3 in Lake Nona. So I'm here with Boston Dave Knight of Rent Smart USA, formerly of Orlando Property Management. So
Just rebranded. Just rebranded.
just rebranded.
USA.
So
Yeah.
nice of you to come on and sit with us and kind of share what's going on in your side of the profession.
Yes, sir.
And so what's going on, man? How you doing?
Well, Dan, I'm doing absolutely great. My family's doing great. Business as a whole is picking up. Getting a lot of phone calls up from vacation rental property owners, Airbnb property owners, and people that have their properties sitting on the market. They can't sell. So property's vacant. What are they going to do? They're going to call us. Okay. But I appreciate you having me on the show, Dan. Really, really do.
Yeah, man, I'm excited. I mean, I know I've been with you before in several CFRI meetings and things
Yes.
like that, and I just know the energy you always bring. So I'm glad we
Appreciate
able
it.
to connect and do this. So obviously,
Yes.
this is affecting real estate, affecting how we do real estate, and affecting how fast. You know, I spoke to Kevin Kendrick yesterday, and he described it as
Guy.
if real estate was going 65 miles per hour down the highway before this, maybe it's only going 10 miles now because of our,
Just come to a screeching halt. Pretty much.
Yeah. So how is it on the property management side? I mean, how is it affecting your side of the world?
Well, that's a great question. You know, the CARES Act just passed by Congress and signed into Donald Trump, President Trump, excuse me, about 10 days ago. So there's a lot of key factors in that 800-page bill that truly affects professional landlords like myself. But more importantly, that do-it-yourself, what we call a SMIPO, that's a self-managing investment property owner. There's a lot of ramifications in that bill that, I'll be honest with you, most landlords or property owners don't know about.
Wow. So obviously, how is that going to, and for those people out there who say, you know, I don't want to read 800 pages.
Right.
What kind of stuff have you taken away from it that you would tell a landlord, hey, these are kind of the important things that you need to look out for, or you need to cover yourself on?
Great question. So number one, my advice to all do-it-yourself landlords, keep paying your rent. Keep paying your mortgages. Okay, keep paying your tax insurance. In the bill, you are allowed forbearance if you can negotiate it with your bank. And folks, what is forbearance? Forbearance means that you can negotiate a deal with your bank and not pay your principal and interest. Taxes and insurance keeps going on. Principal and interest you can hold off for X amount of months, depending what you negotiate with your bank. And that could be 6, 5, 10, 12 months. However, you will, at the end of that period, have to pay the piper. And we'll get into what I believe is going to be the cause of the negative effects of forbearance. It's not forgiveness. So my advice for buy and holders, don't do forbearance. It's not forgiveness. Keep paying your mortgages. You don't want to fall behind. That's advice number one.
Yeah, because and I had real estate attorneys on the other day over at Kendrick Law Group with and Jessica, and they briefly touched on it as well, because a lot of people think, okay, well, I don't have to pay my mortgage. Well, then if your mortgage is $2,500 a month, and after 90 days they're going to ask you for $7,500.
Hello.
It's not like you can just say, hey, thank you, peace out. So yeah, I think that's a great point you made there. So please go on. I'm sorry.
Number two, not a problem. Thank you, Dan. Number two is that part of the CARES Act is that, well, first of all, Last week, our Governor DeSantis, gave a ruling, actually not a ruling, but it's a 45-day moratorium on all foreclosures and all evictions. And as you may well know, folks, courts are closed in pretty much every part of the country. Courts are closed. Judges aren't hearing any eviction cases at this time. And again, you cannot serve an eviction notice and you can't evict anybody at this time. Now, hear me out, people. Part of the CARES Act is that you cannot evict anyone for the next 120 days. You can't even serve them notice to vacate for the next 120 days. That's all for not, and let's get to some of the skinny here. Okay, one is for non-payment. So if your tenants are not paying you, okay, you can just send them a letter saying, please pay up. You can't include in there, hey, you're going to be evicted in starting 5 days or 3 days. You can't put any of that. So it's not a notice, it's just a letter. Okay. So, and this affects 90% of the homeowners out there that own a rental property that they're paying a mortgage on. 90%, because of that 90% are federally backed mortgages. 10% are not. So if you are a landlord, you own rental property, you own it outright, after the 45 days is up, and hopefully the courts will be open, then you can start eviction proceedings. And that's a very, very small segment of landlords out there in the marketplace throughout America. Okay.
Yeah. Okay. And then, so if the other 90% would have to wait for and correct me if I'm wrong, you have to wait for the courts to open. Then you have to serve the notice.
Not 90%. Okay. First of all, 100% of the landlords here in Florida cannot evict anybody for the next 45 days. Doesn't matter if you own the property outright or if you have a federally backed mortgage.
Now, when the court opens,
yes, hopefully they will.
Then
yes,
you have to serve a notice.
Yes, then you have to serve a notice if you own the property outright and if you don't have a federally backed mortgage. Yes, you can. All right. Now, if you do have a mortgage on the property that is backed by the federal government, well, you're SOL. Why? Because you have to honor what's in the CARES Act. You can't serve an eviction notice for the next 120 days. Now, check this out. At the end of 120 days, that's 4 months, people, they get, excuse me, they're going to have to, that's a lead, simple lead. I'm getting on a lead right now. Another perspective slide coming in right now. I will get back to you. So check this out. So at the end of 4 months, then you have to give them the tenants another 30 days to make good on what they owe you. So, yeah, you're shaking your head. Yes, exactly. We're talking 150 days here, guys. 150 days.
That they are untouchable, basically.
Basically. Now, okay, that's for non-payment of rent. Now, if they're breaking their lease on other selling drugs, beating the place up, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera, that's different grounds. And I would consult with obviously an attorney. I personally use a couple different attorneys myself, and I don't want to give them a plug at this time because they're not standing beside me and to answer additional questions. So I would seek attorney guidance. Okay.
Awesome. Great. And so
you're a professional.
Absolutely. So we gotten through those two. It sounds like that's the big issues right there that are coming out of the CARES Act that you have to protect yourself or understand, or else because your hands are kind of tied.
Our hands are tied. Another thing is that tenants, they read this stuff online. There's Facebook groups. Tenant strike is one of them. Okay, where they just refuse to pay the landlord because they know they can get away with this crap for the next 120, 150 days or so. They know they can get away with it, so they're not going to pay us.
So here you are as a property management company.
Yes.
And you're kind of in the middle, just saying, sorry, owner, sorry, landlord. I mean, unless they're breaking the law, there's nothing we can do, collect or ask for.
Our hands are tied.
So this is really affecting your, I mean, this is fucked up for you.
I agree. And on the good side, okay, by the way, all the Christians out there, happy Good Friday. Okay, we have Easter weekend. So us Northeast guys, let's watch our language. So I got it. So in regards to, you know, our rent collection, and I'm in touch with some of the best professional landlords out there in America. Most of us are getting 90 to 100% of our rents so far this month. And basically, compared to this month to last, we are off by about $2,000 in rent collections. Now, we believe May and June could be a totally different story. Could be a totally different story.
People are starting to have to let people go.
Well, people have already let go. Let's talk about some facts here in Orlando. 20% of the people are unemployed right now. 20%, that is huge. 10 million people across the great country of ours filed for unemployment over the last 2 weeks. 10 million. So we're almost like a Great Depression type of numbers here, guys. And here in Orlando, the fuel that pumps our economic engine is tourism. 60 million people visit Orlando every year. We are the family vacation destination of the world, and that's totally shut down. All the parks are shown. Disney shut down, Universal shut down, SeaWorld, Wally's World shut down. Everything shut down, okay? And look at all the people that have been laid off. Look at everybody in the service industry, which we are a service industry-based economy here in Florida. And a huge amount here in Orlando. So we have, let me see, hotels. I don't know how many people laid off. I have a buddy who's a general manager, had to break his heart by laying people off, okay? Bars, restaurants, all closed, all shut down. And if you're in the bar or restaurant business, you barely have any cash or cash flow to make a living to begin with. It's such a risky business. It's just a shame. And commercial landlords, let's talk about them.
Yeah, I did. I think you might have seen something. I am interested in that because they're.
Oh, go ahead.
Yeah, there's some commercial landlords. How are they having to deal with their, first of all, their anchor stores, and then the small businesses that kind of make out their strip malls and their plazas?
All those mom and pop retailers, exactly, and business owners like myself. Yeah. I have 2 locations. I paid rent, and I will continue to pay rent. Why? Because I have the capital to do so. Okay, but a lot of people don't have the capital, especially bars and restaurants, seamstresses, dry cleaners. I can't even get my dry cleaner. I got like $5,000 worth of suits sitting in a dry cleaners right now. I can't get my suits. Exactly. So, but Cheesecake Factory, national chain, they're not paying their rent this month, and they're probably not going to pay their rent for the next month and the month after that. What's the landlord going to do? Get out? Who's going to fill the spot? Absolutely nobody. So commercial landlords are in serious trouble, and they were already in serious trouble. Why? Because now we have this right here. We don't need to have places where we can meet all the time. Everything can be done online. So commercial landlords are in tough. Malls were already pretty much antiquated anyways. There's another dagger in the heart for malls. Let Amazon put fulfillment centers in the malls. Okay, that's another story. I want to talk locally a little bit more though, Dan, may I?
Yeah, absolutely, please.
Okay. So we have here the vacation destination of the world. We have investors from all around the world that have bought into this vacation home business. Okay, we're and you know, about a 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 bedroom with the 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 bath.
And that's the Airbnb and VRBO business, correct?
Exactly. And if you didn't know, folks, all reservations have been canceled, and who knows when they're going to start up again. So not only do they have to pay their mortgages, their taxes, insurance, but they have to pay that HOA fee of say $500 to $700 in most of these resorts. All the resorts are pretty much closed. So I'm getting calls. Can you put a long-term tenant in my vacation rental because I'm going out of business? They're going out of business, folks. And one by one, I'm telling you, this is going to cause a lot of foreclosures in the marketplace here in Orlando. That's just one. Airbnb,
instead of short term or weekly. So these communities that were all short term or weekly are now reaching out to you and asking for 6, 10, 12-month tenants.
12-month tenants or more, correct. Yes.
And
I need to fix this, okay? 1 second.
Yeah, and then
yes, go ahead.
I mean, how easy is that going to be to fill? I mean, who's standing around right now saying, I got first and last and security to put down, I need to move?
Right. Well, that's a good question. Here in Orlando, we don't ask for first, last, and security. Based upon good credit with my company, you don't have to put down a security deposit. We have an insurance policy for that. So for the most part, you have good credit. It's 1 month's rent. And we have people calling us every single day, going online, wanting to rent our properties. And I want to touch upon another thing, okay? With realtors out there today, they can't even show a home. They have someone in there in the home, they can't show the home. People are panicking. They don't want to get this virus, okay? And I understand, and I feel for those people. However, we use a smart lockbox system, and we're able to show properties that are vacant. We call them, they just get a special code after they provide their ID and a credit card. So we're able to show homes 8 to 8, Monday through Sunday, 7 days a week. Okay. And we don't have to be there. There is no human contact. And that allows us to get the properties rented quicker and obviously in a safe manner.
And that's awesome, Dave. So in this time, I really believe that whatever area of real estate you're in,
yes,
you really can't compete with each other right now. We need to come together as a community and kind of align and help each other out. So with that being said, I'm a realtor in the industry, or I'm a real estate investor in the industry, or a wholesaler, or whatever, commercial lender. How can Dave help me?
That's a great question. Can I give you some advice for you and for all the other investors out there?
Absolutely.
Okay. I see and I predict a wave of foreclosures and short sales coming our way. Even those 80% of those who get mortgages still live check to check. And we're in a world of hurt because our economy has come to a screeching halt. People are going to start missing payments. People won't be able to catch up. People don't have 20, 30, 40,000 sitting aside for rainy days. Our economy has been on overdrive for such a long time. Everybody thought the good times are going to keep going. So my advice for those who want to become an investor or get into the game, first of all, get educated. And for those like myself and Dan over here who have been in the game, who do buy and hold properties, if you have bought properties like myself 5, 6, 7 years ago, and we have a ton of equity in the home, guys, interest rates are still at historic lows. So what I'm doing at this time, I'm refinancing a number of my rental homes because I have all this equity in the home, and it's doing me actually no good just sitting out there in equity space. So I'm refinancing 15-year notes, sucking all that beautiful cash out, putting it aside. Now that capitalizes my property management firm. Okay, so we'll talk about the state of property management with this and coming to our industry in the near future. But it allows us to become cash buyers. Cash buyers are going to be king once again, like they were in 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. Cash buyers were king. Cash buyers are going to be king again. So Dan, Refinance your properties if you have a lot of money in those properties, a lot of equity. Take that cash, get ready to become a cash buyer once again, get those great deals, and then refinance those properties. It's called the BRRRR. You buy, you rehab, you rent, then you refinance, and then you repeat. BRRRR. Look it up on YouTube, people.
It's a great book,
Advice.
and it's a great program, and it's a great strategy.
Yes.
It is
It is an awesome strategy.
It is a strategy I buy my and invest in my properties with. So
Yes.
we bought into it as well. And so that's on the investor side. So now I'm a real estate agent. The market
Yes,
is
you are.
shifting. There's people that are not able to buy, rent, or I've got a bunch of tenants that are going, man, I've got multiple houses. I need help. How can what should they do? How can they reach out to Dave and them become aligned to be able to show value to each other? How can they say, hey, Dave, I need you for this?
Working with investors.
No, working on the retail side. So now let's say I'm a real estate agent on the retail
Yes.
side, and I have a ton of clients, and I know that it's shifting and property management is going to kind of come into play. Rentals are coming back to fruition.
Right.
Most people were buying before.
Yes.
What value would I have of partnering with Dave at Rent Smart USA?
Great question. So first of all, I advise my clients, okay, by asking good questions. Okay. First thing we know, okay, first question I ask, are you investing? Tell me about your investment portfolio. Tell me about your retirement portfolio. Shut up and listen. If anyone's had a 401k program, okay, the mutual funds crashed, okay? 10 trillion worth of stock market value gone. So they're not happy about their funds right now. They're afraid to open up that envelope and look at their statement. That's one. Two, okay, have you ever thought about investing in real estate? Well, yeah, but it seems risky. I get it. And it is risky for most people because, buying a rental home is way outside of their comfort zone. Do you agree?
Absolutely.
It's scary. Okay. Landlord-tenant law. They think I can just paint the place and get it rented. And how to do.
It took me a long time to get the courage up to do it.
Yeah. But you've done it. That's the most important thing, have you?
Yes, sir.
So so my advice to realtors is ask good questions. And if you don't know the questions to ask, reach out to me. I've got a script ready to roll. I can send it to you PDF. Ask those questions.
That is one thing he's not lying about, because from the first day I met him, we started scripting in the middle of class. He was like, let's do it right here.
Ring.
And we just started going at it. So,
I am looking for Dan. Hi, Dan.
Yep.
Dave Knight from Rent Smart USA. How are you today, sir? Okay,
outstanding.
Yes.
And we've had some good times there. So
Yes, sir.
yeah, well, I'm glad that you seem in high spirits. I'm glad that right now the money's still coming in on your property management side. Sounds like you're going in the right direction. And I mean, if anybody wants to get a hold of Boston Dave, he's easy to find. Just type in Boston Dave. I mean,
still number one on Google after all these years.
Yeah.
No, seriously. Seriously, Boston Dave is more of my stage name. For those who know me, they also know me that I'm an entertainer by trade. And going back to years and years and years ago, I am a former choir boy, former boy band guy with Epic Records way back in the day. I have an SDP tribute band. We often play at sold out shows at House of Blues. I have another act coming up very shortly. It's Boston Dave and the Heavy Metal Horns, where I'll be doing Sinatra and swing and pop and standard. So looking forward to kicking off that act as well. So, but
okay, we're going live one day when you got the band together, so we can bring
me to the moon.
Yeah.
Let me play among the stars. There you go.
Love it. We're bringing you guys right to Facebook Live. That's awesome, man. Well, Dave, I love this, man. Come on every week, man. Your energy and your enthusiasm and everything. I can feel it through the computer, man. It makes me smile. And I think
Thank
making people smile these days is just an outstanding thing, because there is a lot of people hurting, and
Yes,
and they're
there are.
smiling on the outside. They're smiling on the outside, but they're hurting on the inside. And they need to reach out to us, to people like you and I, or to anybody, and let's get on lives and let's talk, and let's just help each other out. Because I mean, I'm so happy to be on here with you. Just, I got a smile from ear to ear. So
Now, Dan, I appreciate you very much, and thank you for having me on the show. And if I might add one more thing about what I feel our fellow realtor community should do to serve our clients best.
Yeah,
May I
please.
share that? May I share that with you?
Absolutely.
I believe the number one thing that you should do when speaking with a client or a prospective client is just tell them the God honest truth. Just tell them the truth. In the good book, it says the truth shall set you free. And it is so true. And people will respect you for that, because unfortunately, most realtors live check to check and they're broke. Okay. And people can smell what we call commission breath coming off you. And if you just tell them the truth shall set all parties free.
Same thing in the car business. We used to call it commission breath. I would tell.
Oh,
Spent 20 years there managing and
oh wow.
and working with guys. So I used to tell the guys, the salespeople and sales ladies, hey, I know we're all trying to make money, but you got to be careful, because that's perceived, and you need to just chill. Tell the
Right.
truth, and then get
And
yourself.
we don't need buyer's remorse where they under pressure they sign a contract and then they want to cancel. It's no good.
No good at all.
Yeah. And one last thing, Dan, if I may say, just a plug for realtors that are stuck in a grind. Their properties are coming up to expire soon. Their listings are about to expire, or the seller saying, listen, I just want to cancel this and withdraw. For those properties, okay, where they need to move, where they have to sell, or if their property is vacant, guys, there's that 4-letter word, but I love this 4-letter word. It's called RENT. Rent it out. Refer it to a professional landlord. My team and I would be more than grateful, okay, for that referral. And I have on my website, I have a simple www.getpaid555.com. So my firm will pay you $555 by referring said client to us. And we do promise, when and if they do want to sell down the line, okay, we will give that property back to you so you can make that commission that you do so deserve. Okay.
Awesome. Well, that's great.
www.getpaid555.com.
I like it. And please put all your information in the feed when we're done, like in the comments and stuff, so people know, how to get a hold of you, and even that number there too. So
Awesome.
let's
Appreciate
do
it.
it. And I'll share the video. You share the video, and I'm hoping that as many people as possible see it, because you gave out a lot of good information. So
Right. And Aaron Luden was on the call earlier, wasn't he?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So he had called me a few times this week, but unfortunately I was too busy to get back to him. Okay. Sorry, Aaron, you're not a priority. You're not a prospective client, but I love you, Aaron. So Aaron, if you're listening, so Aaron wanted to get me what I thought was going on in the market, where I predicted things were going to be going. And right now things are sideways. We've lost about 20-25% of the market share right now. Everything's at a standstill, and I get it. Okay. People are scared and they're panicking. What I see happening as far as the property management business is going to be like 08, 09, 010, 11, 12, where the property management business is really going to grow. Okay. Professionals like myself, our businesses are going to grow by giving value to not only the realtor community, but obviously to landlords who need our professional guidance and our professional services. So not a plug, but listen, realtors out there, you're looking to get in the investment game, call me. If you have a client that is looking to invest in property, call me. I'm always open to 15, 20-minute calls, okay, to assist you, to educate you about the marketplace. This way you can tell the client, a prospective client, the truth.
Yeah, listen, they say it's as an investor, any book you read, whether it's Burr or any of the other ones, part of the core four that you need to surround yourself with, one is a property manager. So
Oh, right.
get yourself a good, knowledgeable property manager, not just to manage your property when you're ready, but you need to know what's going on in the market, and who better to call on than the guy that's renting property in that market. So yeah,
And
please,
owning property in the market. I am a landlord.
it's very important to find yourself a good property manager. So please reach out to Dave. And Dave,
Yes, sir.
anytime, man, you have my calendar linked, plug yourself right in and we'll get back on.
Appreciate you, Dan. I wish you and your family and your clients nothing but blessings on this Easter weekend.
Yes, happy Easter, and sorry about my F-bomb.
Hey, don't listen. I'm the king of F-bombs. I just don't do it in front when the camera's on.
Yeah, not in front of the
I can't
holy
help. I can't help it. I'm from Dorchester, Massachusetts. Effing is an adjective where I come from.
You come out the womb like that.
Yeah, dude.
All right, buddy, you take it easy.
I appreciate you. Take care, Facebook. Thank you.